Bitcoin becomes the backbone of a new financial system, which it really is, like, it's the king of the remittances. It's it is the immutable blockchain, and people have a lot of reasons that they trust it. In 14 years, no one's broken it, and there's no replacement. Then if the US owns 1 million Bitcoin, they'll be the largest holder of Bitcoin.
But what are we doing with it? We're facilitating trade with it, or we're just holding it?
Well,
if it's a strategic reserve, with a strategic petroleum reserve, they use it. When there's like an oil shortage, or there's a problem, or there's a dislocation, they will tap the reserve.
But yeah.
And then when prices calm down, they'll add it back. Michael's question, how does a Bitcoin strategic reserve function?
Okay.
Would there be a shortage of Bitcoin?
And to what end?
These are good questions, but keep this in mind. So oil's a strategic commodity.
Clearly.
Okay. Now, oil only has 7 buyers, really. It's the refiners. Oil, that's produced everywhere, it's really just bought by refiners.
Who then turn it into something useful.
Yeah, to distillates and gasoline.
Okay.
But there's really only 7 buyers. And so if you look at oil, the oil market that's bought for distillate, and then take the total trading volume of oil against that, what do you think the ratio is?
I don't know, tiny, right?
400. For every dollar of oil that's bought at a pump, it's traded 400 times on speculation.
Wow. Okay.
So you need a strategic petroleum reserve because there's so much price speculation around it that you could be whipsawed if you didn't control some way to manage prices.
Okay. So Bitcoin is the same.
Yeah, so let's say Bitcoin,
speculation around
let's say that it becomes 10% of people's net worth and banks start to use it to secure information. Because remember, the blockchain, you can just store 1 pixel of a 10 million page document, but the hash will detect if you changed 1 pixel. So that's why you're going to use the Bitcoin to secure information, right? Well, that's really valuable, but then wouldn't the US want to be able to control this blockchain or exert some way to censor it somehow?
Okay.
And, once banks start trading Bitcoin, like Citadel, it will probably be the most profitable product for Goldman and JP
Because
Morgan.
of how volatile it is, bid-ask spreads are wider.
Correct. And if oil's traded 400 times, Bitcoin might be 1,000 times. It's going to be a hugely traded commodity.
Okay, so this is a productive thing, even though, to my earlier point, we have a budget deficit, we have tons of debt. This is a project that we should also undertake now because it might come in handy at some point in the future.
Yeah, well, the US owns 200,000 Bitcoin, as long as those keys are safe.
Okay.
And so they buy 800,000 more through the Exchange Stability Fund, so another 80 billion.
If they do that, I think the price goes to 1 million too. I just don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah. But then if Bitcoin gets to 36 million, there's no national debt.
Okay. In that fantasy, who do you sell the Bitcoin to pay off the debt though? I've heard that before.
Michael Saylor, hello.
So Michael Saylor buys the Bitcoin from us and we use the proceeds to extinguish our debt.
Well, it's not, you don't need to sell it because it's almost the same thing as if NVIDIA is 3 trillion, it's not like someone would say, oh, well, you're going to liquidate all 3 trillion, so it's not worth 3 trillion. It's as long as the value is stored at that level.
Okay.
And you can still trade it.
Then we could say it's an asset that offsets the debt that we have. We don't have to use it to pay down the debt. Yeah. We could just say we're backing that debt with this asset.
I'll guarantee you if Bitcoin got to 36 million, okay, theoretically, the US cost of debt would go to 0.
Okay.
They would have because they have 0 net debt.
What's going to happen on Friday?
I think, so the base case, I think it's a really bad jobs report. Maybe 50,000. I think the market panics, but Powell's speaking at 12:30, and you're going to see the May odds 100%.
Because Powell's gonna make it all better. He's gonna calm people down. We're aware of the situation.
Well, because this is now with Atlanta, GDP now negative, and then jobs. This is not like the Fed can sit there hawkishly.